Let's talk about quantum computing. 1981, particle physicist, quantum physicist Richard Feynman imagined a new type of computer that can simulate nature directly. Simulate nature directly. Because nature is quantum. He called it a quantum computer. 40 years later, the industry has made a fundamental breakthrough.
For years, quantum computing has been a dream, something futuristic, distant, almost mythical. A technology so advanced, it promised to solve problems that even today's most powerful supercomputers can't touch. But this week, NVIDIA's Jensen Huang changed everything. Because what he just revealed isn't science fiction anymore. It's a new kind of computing, one that merges quantum processors and AI supercomputers into a single, unified system. And if he's right, this could reshape the future of artificial intelligence forever. To understand why this matters, let's start with the basics. At the core of every quantum computer are qubits, quantum bits that can exist in multiple states at once. They're powerful, but they're also fragile. Qubits are so sensitive that the slightest noise, heat, or interference can cause them to collapse. In the real world, that means today's quantum machines can only perform a few hundred operations before breaking down. But to solve meaningful problems, like modeling molecules, cracking encryption, or training AI, you need trillions of operations. That's been the wall quantum computing could never break through. Until now. In a stunning announcement, Jensen Huang introduced what NVIDIA calls NVQLink, a groundbreaking interconnect architecture that bridges quantum processors directly with NVIDIA GPUs. Think of it as a neural bridge between two worlds, the probabilistic realm of quantum mechanics and the deterministic power of classical computing. This is not about replacing one with the other. It's about fusing them. For the first time, quantum processors can offload their calculations to NVIDIA's GPUs in real time, correcting errors as they happen, something once thought impossible. Let's pause here for a second because this is the kind of detail that sounds technical but has massive implications.
There's an inflection point happening in quantum computing. The number of logical qubits are starting to grow. 40 years later, just last year, a fundamental breakthrough. It is now possible to make one logical qubit. Well, just like Moore's Law would, I could totally expect 10 times more logical qubits every 5 years. One logical qubit. One logical qubit that's coherent, stable, and error-corrected. 100 times more logical qubits every 10 years. Those logical qubits would become better error-corrected, more robust. In the past, now that one logical qubit could be sometimes tens, sometimes hundreds of physical qubits, all working together.
See, quantum computers don't just fail when they make a mistake. They erase the information entirely. Measuring a qubit collapses it. It's like trying to read a snowflake without melting it. The only solution is quantum error correction, adding extra qubits that entangle with others, allowing you to detect where an error occurred without disturbing the original data. It's brilliant in theory. But it's also so computationally demanding that even the world's fastest supercomputers can't handle it efficiently. That's why Huang's reveal is so important. NVQLink was built precisely to solve that. By connecting quantum chips directly to NVIDIA GPUs, NVQLink allows terabytes of data to move back and forth thousands of times per second. That's enough speed to detect, calculate, and correct quantum errors on the fly, without destroying the fragile state of the system. At the heart of this system is something called Q2Q, NVIDIA's open platform for quantum GPU computing. It lets researchers coordinate both quantum processors and AI supercomputers simultaneously, effectively turning them into one brain. And for the first time, we're looking at a platform where AI and quantum computing can work hand in hand instead of existing in separate silos. To grasp how revolutionary this is, imagine what happens when AI and quantum physics stop being two separate fields and start powering each other. Quantum systems could feed AI models data from realms we can't even simulate today. AI could optimize quantum circuits, correct errors faster, and design entirely new materials or drugs at atomic precision. It's the dawn of accelerated quantum supercomputing, where two once impossible technologies merge into one. And NVIDIA is placing itself right at the center of that revolution. Huang didn't say this outright, but the implications are clear. NVIDIA isn't just the GPU company anymore.
As you know, qubits, these particles are incredibly fragile. Higher performance, more resilient, and of course, will continue to be scalable. They could be unstable very easily. Any observation, any sampling of it, any environmental condition causes it.
About developing new materials, Jim, at the molecular level, perhaps down the road. They do have this partnership with Novo on drug discovery.
And so it takes extraordinarily well-controlled environments, and now also a lot of different physical qubits for them to work together.
Look, I've been waiting for that. Recursion was supposed to be 1, 2, and the drug person is excellent. I'm keep hoping that they do some big deals on.
And for us to do error correction on these, what are called auxiliary or syndrome qubits.
Cancer, you're able. I've been listening to a lot of people who claim they have AI, and it's starting to bother me again because they're doing spreadsheets.
For us to error correct them and infer what that logical qubit state is.
I'm calling it AI. After working with all of the sites that are now saying they're really good at math, they're awful at math.
There are all kinds of different types of quantum computers. Superconducting, photonic, trapped ion, stable atom, all kinds of different ways.
But you're seeing, I mean, I did a piece last night that basically said, okay, here we go. IONQ, D-Wave quantum, Rigetti, quantum computing.
To create a quantum computer. We now realize that it's essential for us to connect a quantum computer directly to a GPU supercomputer.
I'm not saying I'm a sage.
No.
I am saying that Jensen is giving the green light to a lot of companies that may mean absolutely nothing, but they have quantum in their name.
So that we could do the error correction, so that we could do the artificial intelligence calibration and control.
I mean, Honeywell's been very honest and said, listen, we're not ready.
Right.
And IBM does have quantum, and that's one of the reasons why IBM is at an all-time high.
Quantum computer, and so that we could do simulations collectively, working together, the right algorithms running on.
Those are incredible moves. If you were lucky enough to have decided that quantum was where you wanted to be at the beginning of this year, you are very happy, or even last year.
Well, what do you mean
Guys,
by that?
The GPUs, the right algorithms running on the QPUs, and the two processors, the two computers working side by side.
well, I mean, I think it's not yet proven, right? We don't know.
But it's younger people who are really cashing in.
And you've made
sit
this,
here and tell people to buy Smucker.
You've made this.
This is the future of quantum computing. Let's take a look. There are many ways to build a quantum computer.
This point, right? You've made this point about nuclear and certain crypto assets.
Well, it's very disheartening.
I'm
I'm disheartened by it.
Well, don't be disheartened.
Why?
Each uses qubits, quantum bits, as its core building block. No matter the method, all qubits, whether superconducting qubits, trapped ions, neutral atoms, or photons, share the same challenge.
What value added do we have? I read the names.
You want to get heartened? Read Sam Altman's blog post from last night. It's entitled "The Gentle Singularity."
They're fragile and extremely sensitive to noise. Today's qubits remain stable for only a few hundred operations.
We had Jensen. I think when you talk about the leaders right now in terms of where the future is, it's Jensen, and it's a lot of it's Sam Altman.
But solving meaningful problems requires trillions of operations. The answer is quantum error correction. Measuring disturbs a qubit.
They're great friends. And with you remember, nothing took off.
I took out a few things
until
that
he gave Sam the
I took
chips.
out a few things that just struck
Sure,
me.
please tell me something good.
Destroys the information inside it. The trick is to add extra qubits, entangle, so that measuring them gives us enough information to calculate.
It's a letter that I think people should read because it's got a lot of different things in it, but part of it is, of course, talking about the near-term advances that are coming.
Where errors occurred without damaging the qubits we care about. It's brilliant, but needs beyond state-of-the-art conventional compute.
2030s, for example, he writes, intelligence and energy, ideas, and the ability to make ideas happen are going to become wildly abundant.
That's why we built NVQLink, a new interconnect architecture that directly connects quantum processors with NVIDIA GPUs.
It's the operating system of the future. They already dominate AI training with their H100 and Blackwell chips. Now, they're positioning themselves as the connective tissue between AI and the next generation of quantum machines. And if NVQLink works the way it's designed, NVIDIA will control the very infrastructure that every future quantum and AI system depends on. This isn't just about faster chips. It's about rewriting the foundation of computing itself. Jensen Huang's reveal also challenges one of the biggest misconceptions in tech, that quantum computers will one day replace traditional ones. In reality, as he explained, quantum and classical systems will coexist, complementing each other instead of competing. Classical supercomputers will handle structured data, logic, and precision. Quantum processors will take on the chaotic, probabilistic calculations that classical hardware simply can't. Together, they form what Huang calls a fused platform, a hybrid system capable of tackling humanity's hardest problems, from climate modeling to molecular design, from AI cognition to advanced robotics. And the key to making all of this possible is NVQLink. Let's not miss how strategic this move really is. Quantum startups like IBM, Reshape, and IonQ have been racing to build larger, more stable qubit systems. But NVIDIA isn't competing with them, it's enabling them. By providing the connective platform, NVIDIA becomes indispensable to everyone in the ecosystem. Whether your quantum processor uses trapped ions, photons, or superconducting qubits, you'll need NVQLink to make it viable at scale. It's the same playbook NVIDIA used with GPUs 2 decades ago. Build the tools everyone relies on, and you become the center of innovation itself. But this is also about AI supremacy. If quantum systems start accelerating AI training, NVIDIA's lead over competitors like AMD and Intel could become permanent. AI models that once took weeks to train could one day be optimized in hours, powered by quantum acceleration. And in a world where every major corporation and government is racing to dominate AI, that's the kind of advantage that could reshape global power. Still, it's not without risks. Quantum computing is unpredictable. The physics are fragile, the hardware is experimental, and integrating such systems with AI at this scale introduces cybersecurity, stability, and governance questions no one has fully answered yet. Even Jensen Huang admitted this is just the beginning. Quantum error correction is a monumental challenge, and despite NVQLink, it's far from solved. But as Huang said during the announcement, this isn't about waiting for perfect technology. It's about building the bridge now, so that when quantum computing finally matures, the infrastructure is already in place. That's classic NVIDIA. Move first, build the ecosystem, and let everyone else catch up later. The company has already transformed gaming, AI, and data centers. Now, it's setting the stage to transform physics itself. Huang's quantum reveal wasn't just about new hardware. It was about a vision, one where AI and quantum computing fuse into a single, accelerated reality. And whether the world is ready or not, NVIDIA is already building it. So what does this mean for the rest of the tech world? For Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, who all have their own quantum divisions, it means NVIDIA is no longer just a supplier. It's now a direct competitor in the race for computing dominance. For researchers, it means new possibilities. Solving molecular equations, modeling materials, or training AIs that can reason beyond current limits. And for everyone else, it means the future of technology might arrive far sooner than anyone expected. Huang's message was simple, but powerful. Quantum computing won't replace classical systems. It will work with them. Fused together, they'll create something faster, smarter, and more powerful than anything we've ever built before. And that's not a distant dream. That's NVIDIA's next product cycle. End. Cinematic outro line. This is the story of Jensen Huang's quantum reveal, and how it may reshape not just the future of AI, but the very definition of computing itself.
Quantum error correction requires reading out information from qubits, calculating where errors occur,
We hear that word a lot, by the way,
Right.
abundant. These two have been the fundamental limiters on human progress for a long time. With abundant intelligence and energy and good governance,
And sending data back to correct them. NVQLink is capable of moving terabytes of data to and from quantum hardware.
we can theoretically have anything else. He goes on to say, if we have to make the first million humanoid robots the old-fashioned way,
The thousands of times every second needed for quantum error correction. At its heart is CUDA-Q,
generals driving trucks, running factories to build more robots, which can then build more chip fabrication facilities, data centers, and the rate of progress will be quite different.
our open platform for quantum GPU computing. Using NVQLink and CUDA-Q, researchers will be able to do more than just error correction.
And finally, last part I'll take for you guys, and the one I've been focused on, there will be very hard parts, like whole classes of jobs.
They will also be able to orchestrate quantum devices and AI supercomputers to run quantum GPU applications.
Going away. But on the other hand, the world will be getting so much richer so quickly that we'll be able to seriously entertain new policy ideas we never could before.
Won't replace classical systems. They will work together, fused into one accelerated quantum supercomputing platform.
We probably won't adopt a new social contract all at once, but when we look back in a few decades, the gradual changes will have amounted to something big.
This is a physical job. So today we're announcing the NVQLink. NVQLink.
Well, okay,
Because
so
nobody's going to have a job, so we're all going to be wandering around looking
No,
for
Jen-
some purpose.
Y-
But we're going to have an age of abundance. An age of abundance.
it drives me crazy.
Thank you.
And it's made possible by two things. Of course, this interconnect that does quantum computer control and calibration.
Handmaid's tale, and we need people. And you may think that look, and we're rounding up people in this country and sending them where God knows where.
Direction, as well as connects two computers, the QPU and our GPU supercomputers, to do hybrid simulations.
We don't let anybody in the country. We have a series of jobs now that the only people who really wanted them were people who felt, look, this is how I can get my kid to a college.
Really scalable. It doesn't just do error correction for today's number of few qubits. It does error correction for tomorrow. Essentially, scale up these quantum computers from the hundreds of qubits we have today to tens of thousands of qubits, hundreds of thousands of qubits in the future. So I can do control, co-simulation, quantum error correction, and scale into that future. The invention of CUDA-Q, remember, CUDA was designed for GPU, CPU, accelerated computing. Using both processors to use the right tool to do the right job. Now, CUDA-Q has been extended beyond CUDA so that we could support QPU and have the two processors, QPU and the GPU, work and have computation move back and forth within just a few microseconds. The essential latency to be able to cooperate with the quantum computer. Breakthrough adopted by so many different developers. We are announcing today 17 different quantum computer industry companies. And I'm so excited about this. 8 different DOE labs. Berkeley, Brookhaven, Fermi Labs in Chicago. Just about every single DOE lab has engaged us, working with our ecosystem of quantum computer companies, to integrate quantum computing into the future of science. I have one more additional announcement to make. Announcing that the Department of Energy is partnering with NVIDIA to build 7 new AI supercomputers to advance our nation's science. I have to have a shout out for Secretary Chris Wright. He has brought so much energy to the DOE, a surge of energy, a surge of passion. Computing is the fundamental instrument of science, and we are going through several platform shifts. On the one hand, we're going to accelerated computing. We're going to AI, so that AI and principled solvers, principled simulation, principled physics simulation is not going to go away. Enhanced, scaled, use surrogate models, AI models, working together. That principled solvers, classical computing, can be enhanced to understand the state of nature using quantum computing. That in the future, we have so much signal, so much data we have to sample from the world, remote sensing is more important than ever. These laboratories are impossible to experiment at the scale and speed we need to unless they're robotic factories. So all of these different technologies are coming into science at exactly the same time. Secretary Wright understands this, and he wants the DOE opportunity to supercharge themselves and make sure the United States stay at the forefront of science. I want to thank all of you for that. Thank you.